POC all split people into just two groups, white and other. In each case, whiteness is a group on its own, distinct from all else. Whiteness stands alone as a status quo against which all other ethnic groups are defined. Everyone who isn't white is lumped together through terms like BAME, POC, and BIPOC, without thought for their individual experiences. In this way, white becomes a binary, white or not white. And all of the subtlety, richness, and variety of different groups is whitewashed away. After much internal deliberation, I have decided to say marginalised groups, or just marginalised so far as possible, rather than to use terms that I find difficult, or to focus on blackness at the expense of all other marginalised racial groups. On occasions where, for one reason or another, that isn't possible, I will use BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, People of Colour, a term that's mostly used in America, which puts the people who are most impacted by racism in that society front and centre. And BAME, Black, Asian, Ethnic Minority, as used by researchers whose work I'm referencing. When I say society, I'm speaking about Western society, and I appreciate that the nuances of race and racism are not universally similar. I originally wrote this book with women spelt WOMXN throughout, in order to be inclusive. However, this spelling has since become co-opted by those who want to deny the true womanhood of trans and non-binary women. So, instead, I have spelt it WOMAN and WOMEN, but please know that when I say women, I mean all who identify as such, and that all women are real women. 1. Not being racist is not enough. I'm not racist is a good place to start, and I presume if you're reading this, you're not a racist person, which is great. But I'm sorry to say, it really is the absolute bare minimum. When people say they're not racist, they're usually thinking something along the lines of, I see everyone the same. I would never discriminate against somebody based on the colour of their skin. But what they're not thinking about is being actively anti-racist. Not being racist is the right foundation, but it's a passive state. It's not allyship. To be an effective anti-racist ally, we all need to be actively anti-racist. What is anti-racism? Anti-racism is not about seeing and treating everybody in exactly the same way. Instead, it's about understanding the different experiences, perspectives, advantages, and disadvantages of people from different groups and working to overcome them. Anti-racism doesn't gloss over our differences or whitewash the experiences of others. Anti-racism is about refusing to turn a blind eye when we see discrimination. It's about taking an active stance in our daily lives, calling out every joke, offhand comment, and act of injustice. Anti-racism is not about self-improvement. Being a better person is not the end goal. It's about creating a fairer society for marginalised people, which is a better world for us all. Anti-racism and working towards becoming an anti-racist ally isn't easy, and it can be uncomfortable or even scary, but it's the only way we're going to make progress. So let's get going. Racists are bad people. I'm not a racist. The conversation around racism that most of us have heard since childhood is usually pretty one-dimensional, very black and white. Racism is bad. People who are racist are bad people, and you are a good person, so you're not racist. Since childhood, we've been building up our personal mental images of a racist, somebody who's uncaring, violent, dangerous, hateful. You'd know one if you saw one, and you would definitely never be one. But it doesn't quite work like that in practice. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's not true that racism is bad. I can't believe I just had to say that. But I'm also saying that the conversation is more nuanced than a simple good-bad binary leaves space for. Instead of helping marginalised groups, this good, bad, black, white binary has made it really difficult for us to find the grey when it comes to examining our own lives, actions, and the systems.